Freddie. I play drums in the band Ragdoll. Do you want to announce yourself, or should I announce you?
My name's Tammy. I play guitar and sing in the band Ragdoll.
Yeah. And yeah, together we are Ragdoll.
What's Ragdoll?
Ragdoll is a band. We've been doing Superorganism. So I work in a kitchen and I wash dishes. That's pretty much my state of being. I have a degree in production for music, and I'm now like actually starting to look into stuff for that.
I work at a whiskey bar. I've been working in pubs for nearly 4 years now. Born in a pub, probably die in a pub kind of thing. I wouldn't change it for the world. Work in a bar, I play shows. My whole life is people, faces and names.
So how long have you been creating music together?
Roughly 3 years.
Roughly 3 years.
We've been making music together for roughly 3 years. Our earliest demos I can find are from November and December 2021, which is a real headfuck to think about because we haven't released very much music in that time. Back then we sounded a lot quicker. I think it wasn't as airy. The songs were much rougher, as to be expected, I suppose. But yeah, around 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
So how would you describe the music that you create?
Ooh.
Our music is in a lot of senses like unstoppable force meets a movable object, but where the unstoppable force is like free jazz and the immovable object is math rock, and the two things that really shouldn't go together, but we try. A lot of it's very airy in terms of its textures, and I think there's quite a big focus on atmosphere and aesthetics because there's only the two of us. We have to think quite outside of the box in terms of how the music sounds.
There's always a balance we're trying to strike a little bit between something that is like tangible and you can get into, but at the same time I don't know if either of us are really that interested in that and just kind of want to like jam the fuck out a little bit. I think it's about like balancing those things and using the other juxtapositions, what I'm looking for, using one to make the other more exciting.
Dynamics
too, for sure.
A lot of our early shows we improvised a lot, where like maybe half of the set would be our songs and the other half would be like interludes or just us like making it up as we went along. The audio. I have my amp and a mirror, because I'm vain, and the pedal board in the briefcase. Industry secret. You have to like censor that out on camera. I have to censor that out. I have a little wall of random personal artifacts, pictures and drawings and textures I'm a fan of, space posters. Space is sort of everything to me because it's everything else, you know. It's the only time you get to see something so far away and so massive is when you look in the sky, but it's all so small you can't really tell.
Hello, come into my room. Here we have my drum kit taking up a lot of space, but it is very important, so that's okay. Here we have my poster. This is for the band Fleet Foxes. It's my only poster. I like Fleet Foxes a lot. We have our two interfaces over here. This beautiful red one right here, which has worked like a dream and we love to death. We have this grey one over here, which has been really awful and as a result has also become somewhat of a makeshift desk. We also have my bed. That bit over there, that's where I learned how to play drums, pretty much. I got signed up to like a youth music thing. There isn't much of that sort of thing around here. but they like put you in bands essentially, and you play little shows with all of the bands. I mostly learned just from playing in those little groups, and people saying, "Oh, do something like this," and then learning from like listening as well. Definitely a lot of that. In Ragdoll specifically, a lot of it comes from seeing hardcore bands live, which is something Tam put me onto. Where when I met Tam, I was listening to all these like jazz drummers and this free jazz stuff, and it's just a lot of like guys like Elvin Jones, where it's just like really heavy, like these like solo parts that are literally just drilling for like a minute or so, but it's like an expression of rage or something or whatever.
A lot of anger.
A lot of anger, yeah, I guess so. And then seeing all this like hardcore stuff with Tam, like emotional line, but it's very different, and there's like you have like breakdowns and stuff, and this really like slow and solid thing. And I think where I ended up with drums now is a mixture of those things, where it's like the fluidity of the jazz stuff, and then suddenly the hardcore stuff comes in, and hopefully the contrast is I don't know, I like it. I kind of like thrived in lockdown. I was very lucky because obviously I've got music stuff with me and I had a good group of friends around me. Having a creative outlet in a time like that is so useful. I got so much stuff done. It felt really efficient. You know, because obviously when life's going on, it's hard to find the time a lot of the time. I mean, I guess that's why it's taken us 3 years to record everything. And it's like 2+ years after we thought we'd have everything done as well. But it's just like, you know, life has to happen first, I guess. My good friend Saul, he called me and was like, my house share has fallen through, like, live with me in Brighton, pretty much.
Live with Brighton.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I got nothing better to do, sure, let's do it. And I do like Brighton as a city. I don't want to be too far from home, I don't think. And this is still home to me a little bit, as I say, it's the place I grew up. I'm so weirdly familiar with it.
We're here in the Preston Park Rock Gardens. It's a place that I spend quite a lot of my personal time because it's just really lovely. Behind me there's a waterfall that I really like because it sounds really good. It's very nice to sit up here. The main thing that took me to Brighton was music and the scene here, and a lot of the bands that I grew up listening to and really liking were from here. So as soon as I got the opportunity to come here for university and study music production, it's like a no-brainer, I guess. Seemed like the spot for me. When I was around 15, I think, must have been in year 10, picked up guitar. My brother had an old like nylon string acoustic classical guitar lying around, and he just didn't play it like really ever. So picked it up at some point and tried to learn some songs, and then started basically procrastinating any semblance of GCSEs. So when it came around to choosing a sixth form, I went to Cambridge Regional College and did a vocational course in music production, like an extended diploma. And the reason I did that was so that I could make everything I wanted to make by myself and not have to rely on other people too much when it came to the process in the industry. Yeah, production for me, I guess, is a furtherment of just being able to play music, and guitar was where that started before that. In a creative sense, I think Brighton exists in a very standalone way, where we take a lot of influence, and I say we as in, like, a lot of what I see on the music scene and the arts scenes here is that the kind of influence a lot of us take is really eclectic and, if not quite, eccentric, and I think that it reflects on the way people are and the way that everyone behaves. It's quite a happy place. A lot of the time, you know, it's very easy to interact with people on the street. It's nice to be a part of it at the end of the day. It's nice to be in a community of musicians that all make such wonderfully different stuff and all have such a good appreciation for all of it and for all the different angles everyone's coming at their art from.
You know, you've got this album coming out soon, and you're doing these shows for it. But do you know what's next for Ragdoll?
Ooh.
That was a really good question. I have to think real hard about this one.
I don't see Ragdoll going anywhere. I'll say that much. Probably more shows. The stuff that we are starting to write that isn't the stuff we have now. And I think getting this out of the way will actually, because we've worked on some of these songs for like 3 years. So getting out of the way, I think, will hopefully pave the way for us to do more stuff.
Whatever we create next is, obviously, you know, we can't predict it. We're writing stuff at the minute, but it's the first time that we've written music in a while, because we've had all this music for so long and we've wanted to put it on a record for so long, but we've never really felt so ready to do it until recently.
I imagine it's going to get quite different. We're like starting up some other projects here and there as well, but we'll still be working together on those.
I think now it will be a lot easier for us, having put this out and getting to let go of the music, it will be a lot easier for us to write new stuff in new stylings, and we've both improved a lot as musicians and refined what it is that we bring to the table a little bit more. And I don't know, I think it's going to be a little groovier, a little faster in places, but just as like jagged and rhythmically strange. It's nice to watch things grow, but you've got to maintain the idea that you had from the get-go as well. You don't want to lose what it is, but because it had been so long, we've changed so much. The songs that we had have changed so much, whereas now I think we get to write things that will be slightly more representative of what it is we want to write in the future. Maybe it will become slightly more consistent. That's all I can think.
Thank you.
My name's Tammy, that's Freddie on the drums. Known as Ragdoll. I'd like to give a shout out to the other two super organisms here tonight, Bug and Psychic and Wellbeing Event. Thank you very much. Yeah. Also, they're like my besties. We played many shows. Most of you have been to those many shows. Yeah, 6 days ago, we released an album, Into the World, and it's on Permalink, which label? Definitely Permalink, shouting that on the back. We recorded it ourselves, mixed it ourselves, we put it on some cassettes, and that's it. If you want to buy some cassettes, that's cool, it's on streaming and such. And we're going to continue playing the album. We're playing it right now. You should probably get on with that.
Fucking love it.
And how the honey on the rim of the glass trickles down to the side.